Hey guys, in today's video, I am coming up at over a month now here in Bangkok living, and I just want to share my impressions of the city overall and also share how I found my condo and what strategy I used to just find the neighborhood that I wanted and to find this particular condo. Stick around for today's video.
Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us. Keep living like this. Away from us, away from us.
The city, Bangkok, is massive. It's chaotic, but it's also a very beautiful city. And there is a lot to see. And I have been exploring as much as possible, but with only 1 month under my belt, there is so much more to see and do. But I want to start off with how I found exactly where I'm living now. And by the way, I live in an area called Pra Kanang, and I might be pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. But what I did is when I came here at the end of July. And I ended up booking hotels for like 3 or 4 nights in each area, like in different areas, and just kind of checking out the vibe of different areas of Bangkok. And it seemed to be a pretty good strategy because when I got to this particular area, I almost immediately said, whoa, I could see myself living here. This is kind of the neighborhood that I really like. It was mainly because of just lots of restaurants and coffee shops and live music, massage places, and I also knew a handful of other expats that lived in this area, and I was like, this is perfect. So what I did from there is I contacted an agent. Now, a lot of people may not use an agent, but I have found like going onto like Facebook Marketplace, different groups, even on some of the real estate sites in Bangkok or in Thailand, that they will show a condo that looks great, really nicely decorated, great price, and then you contact them and that place is no longer available. That just kind of is something to draw you in, I've noticed. And then they say, well, that one's not available, but let me show you this one. And then all of a sudden you're looking at one that's 5,000 baht more, or it's not as nicely decorated, or they're showing you a totally different condo. So for me, I felt it, since I didn't really know the city that well, I felt it was better to find myself an agent. A friend referred one to me, and she ended up being fantastic. She showed me this place, and almost immediately I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Because I kind of knew the area. And I had a criteria for her. I had looked at some condos first. She had showed me some smaller condos, some that were about 30 square meters. As soon as I walked in, I was like, this is too small. So I upped my budget because originally I was going to spend around 15,000 baht. That's kind of what I was trying to stick to. Then I said, okay, let's bump it up a little bit. I'm willing to go a couple thousand baht more. Ever feel like someone's watching your every click online? That's because they are. With Surfshark VPN, that stops now. Surfshark hides your IP, encrypts your data, and lets you browse from anywhere in the world. Watch shows, book cheaper flights, all with one click. Plus, one account covers unlimited devices, phone, laptop, tablet, all protected. Use my link below and get 83% off, plus 3 extra months free. Surfshark, private, secure, easy. So what are you waiting for? Protect yourself today. Do not travel or live overseas without a VPN. It's necessary. Back to the video. So I decided to up my budget a couple thousand baht more, and I said, I want a condo that's over 40 square meters. I need to be close to the BTS, which is the SkyTrain, because that is my main source of transportation. No longer do I have a motorbike to drive around, nor will I ever probably drive in Bangkok. And I can't say that Bangkok will be my permanent home. It could very well be another city within Thailand. It could be Cambodia. It could be Malaysia. It could be Vietnam. I don't know. I really don't know. But I like it enough that I decided to make this my home base and sign a year lease. And that's what I'm doing. And so I am starting off, currently I'm on the tourist visa, and I'll be switching over to the retirement visa probably within the month here. And that's what I'm planning on doing. But I had the criteria, the BTS, I wanted to be on a higher floor. Yes, I know people will think I'm crazy because of the earthquake, but that honestly is not real common. And I wanted a great view, and if you can see behind me, there is quite the view at night. I love when it rains and there's a lightning storm. It's just an unbelievable show. So I had to have a good gym, and my gym here is so good that I was able to cancel a gym membership. I no longer need a gym membership, so I saved some money there. And so here I'm at. And if you haven't seen my condo video, the video is up above. So that's what I did, and she was very good with showing me places that were within my budget and for what I was looking for. She was a good agent. The thing about Bangkok that I really like is the energy of Bangkok. And it's almost like the city that never sleeps. There's always something going on. If you are into the bar scene, if you are into clubs, if you are big into the food scene, you know, you can walk out of this condo at 2 a.m. and I can find places to eat. There's a 24-hour 7-Elevens that have tons of food available. There's a 24-hour Taco Bell. There's a 24-hour Japanese place that are just all around my neighborhood. And yes, 2 days ago, I did something that I've never done before. And I went to the driving range and I swung the clubs for a little while, hitting some golf balls at the driving range, and it was a lot of fun. And I had never done that before, and I had that opportunity because it was just nearby. And so I had a buddy help me out, kind of show me how to swing the clubs, and I think I did pretty well for a first time. So it's something I probably will explore a little bit more. It's kind of an expensive sport, so I don't know if I see myself doing it on a regular basis, but it's definitely quite fun to go to the driving range. Like I said, street food is quite good here. Now, it isn't always healthy because of the way maybe they prepare it, but a lot of it is fine. And a lot of stuff, you can just walk into 7-Eleven, the markets. Often, in fact, this morning I went out for breakfast. I went to an English pub. You got to choose 7 items on the menu, and you could choose breakfast sausage, bacon, hash browns, eggs, coffee, juice, whatever. You got to choose like 7 items or double up even on an item. And it came out to about $5 US for all of that. Now, I was paying about double that for a breakfast, an equivalent breakfast in Bacolod. Now, I'm not trying to compare the Philippines, but that is what I was paying for a similar breakfast in Bacolod before I came here. The other thing is the street food. You can eat street food for $1 for a meal. The other night, I went out, I had pad krapao, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and then I went and grabbed a milk tea, all for under $2 US, came back to my condo because the food places are just everywhere. And chilled and watched Netflix. Live music the other night, and it was great. And a funny thing I want to mention is, okay, I've been into an IKEA store, and the sales rep from the Philippines. I went into a Mexican restaurant in the mall at Terminal 21, Filipina waitress. Went in to go see live music the other night, Filipino band, along with half the staff being Filipinas and the bartender being a Filipina as well. So it's like literally everywhere I go, there are Filipinos everywhere. So it's kind of cool because I still kind of have a little bit of the Philippines vibe, which is pretty cool. And now it's like, hey, you're from the Philippines? It's like instantly I know. And we have that in common that I can say, oh yeah, oh okay, you're from there? Oh yeah, I used to live there. So that's pretty cool. Getting around Bangkok, again, if you're hopping in taxis and stuff, the traffic can be a nightmare. Yes, I've seen that in the comments. But if you're using the SkyTrain, the BTS, and the MRT, super convenient. You get one of these little rabbit cards and you keep topping it up, and you can just go all over the city, and it's just so convenient. Nice air conditioned, SkyTrains, and just super convenient to go all over. I'm starting to get to know the city a little bit. It's starting to feel a little bit more like home. When I was staying in the hotels at the beginning, of course, you don't ever feel like you're home. But now that I've unpacked and I can chill on the couch and watch Netflix and have a meal, it's pretty amazing. And the other thing is I don't feel pressure to even go out and buy a bunch of pots and pans and stuff to do a bunch of cooking. I like going out, and it's inexpensive enough that I don't feel the need to even really do that much cooking. Now, when I was living in the last location in Bacolod, I was doing a lot of cooking at home because to be honest, I liked my cooking. And there was good food in Bacolod, don't get me wrong, but I like to cook my own meals. But here, the food is so diverse. I can eat Middle Eastern food, I can eat Thai food, I can eat Italian, Mexican. I mean, it's just everything. They have it. The one thing about waking up in Bangkok is, again, compared to where I was living before, it just feels like a massive city. You really don't feel like, like in Bacolod or in the Philippines, people start to get to know you. They recognize your face. Here, it's just so massive. But I have discovered that once you move into like a neighborhood, then you start frequenting the places like the same coffee shop, the same convenience store. People start to recognize you, and they start to say, oh, okay, this guy must live here because he's been coming here like every day for like the last month now, or every couple times a week. And so they start to know who is a tourist and who actually lives there. In fact, many of the girls, if you're on the dating site, that's one of the first things they ask you is, do you live here? They really aren't interested in guys who aren't living here. They want somebody who lives here. Filipinas tend to be more okay with long distance relationships, and if you're not living there, as long as you have plans on visiting, then they seem to be okay with it. Here, not so much. Now, there are some challenges and some adjustments here in Thailand. Now, of course, number one is the language barrier. Now, I have mentioned that here in Bangkok, at least the places that I frequent, I really haven't had a whole lot of issues. But if I just want to stop a pretty girl on the street and try to have a conversation, chances are she probably doesn't speak a whole lot of English. And chances are you may arrive on a first date with somebody you've been chatting with and find out she doesn't speak a word of English, and you're using your Google Translate the entire date. That's not always the case. There still are plenty out there that speak English. I'm surprised actually daily. I'll walk into a 7-Eleven, I'll walk into a coffee shop, and I'm actually quite surprised sometimes how much English they speak. I was at the park the other day, and I was making a video and gave a pretty Thai girl a smile, and she stopped and said, hey, how you doing? Like, in just like perfect English, and totally surprised me. So it's not that bad. Now, of course, if you get out of Bangkok, then of course the English is going to get much worse, and you're going to need your translator. Absolutely. Now, crowds like on the BTS, the SkyTrain, at certain times can be hectic. Like, I was coming home from the mall tonight, and it literally was shoulder to shoulder in the SkyTrain. So like anything, you kind of learn when to take the SkyTrain, when not to, when you can avoid most of the crowds. So it is something you can deal with and kind of figure out. It's just like anything else. It's just a matter of learning when are the crowds, when is the most traffic, things like that. Heat in Bangkok can be pretty brutal. The first time I came over to Bangkok back in July, it was pretty brutal. It was pretty hot and humid the first few days I was here. This time, right now, it has been quite cool and actually nice. I haven't really sweat at all because it's been you know, cooling off with the rains and overcast and less humidity and less sun. So it's been dual. It's been more than tolerable. It's actually been quite comfortable. It's possible to get overstimulated in Bangkok, though. It really is. Sometimes it's just overstimulation. It's like so much crowds, the heat. Sometimes you feel like you just got to break away and have a little peace and quiet to yourself. But again, once you live here, you find your neighborhood and you kind of stick in your neighborhood for the most part. You don't really go out that much. For the most part, I stick around my neighborhood unless I'm going to go meet a friend or go out somewhere. So after a full month here in Bangkok now, as I would say, living in Bangkok, I feel it's almost like it's not a city that you just visit. It's almost like a city that you experience. It's exciting, it's overwhelming. The food will just, it's like heaven. It can be frustrating, it can be inspiring all at the same time. It's just like an overload of on your senses here in Bangkok. So as far as living here long term, well, we will, we will see. I really like it, but a year is a long time, so I can't say a year from now whether will still feel the same way. Right now, I really love it. Chances are I probably will continue to stay here. I like the vibrant city life. I really do. A lot of people don't. I'd like to go out and visit the beach towns and the mountains and quieter places as well. But, you know, I've got a lot to explore over the next, few years here, and we'll see if this is the best fit. But if you want energy and you want culture and a city that never stops surprising you, then Bangkok is it. So that's kind of my impression of living in Bangkok after a month. Again, right now, I'm still in the honeymoon phase. I really like it. But, I felt that way about the Philippines. I felt that way about Vietnam, when I was there. So it just, it takes time to know whether you really are a good fit for a city or not. It takes some time. You don't just figure things out in a month. But for now, I like it. I'm really digging it. I love stepping out of my condo and just boom, the city's alive, and there's food here, and there's a bar open over here, and there's live music, and there's SkyTrain, and there's just so much going on. I'm really digging it. So again, hopefully you got some tidbits out of that if you are thinking about moving out to Thailand or Bangkok or even visiting. And if you're going to live here, I recommend kind of doing what I did, the hotels, like 3-4 nights in different areas that you might be interested in or other people have mentioned. And, you'll find some place that you probably like. And then from there, then you can get an agent. You can say, okay, this is the area I want to be. This is my criteria. This is the price range. And they're either going to be able to find it for you or not. You may have to change different locations because some areas you may not get exactly what you're looking for at that price range, depending on what your price range is. So luckily, I was able to. So I'm happy. And again, what a view, man. I don't even go to sleep with closing on my windows. I just leave them wide open. I love seeing all the lights. I love seeing the sunrise come up. It wakes me up and I get up at a decent time and I head off to the gym, come back and shower, go get my morning coffee, do some work on my laptop. And yeah, life is good as of right now anyway. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see everyone in the next video.
Time keeps slipping away from us. Keep living like this. Away from us, away from us. Gio, let's go.